The W, the O, the R, the K. The W, the O, the R, the K. Look yourself in the face. Look yourself in the mirror. Ask yourself, are you giving 120% every day? Every play? Give me 120 or don't give me nothing at all. The guy you competing against, you haven't outworked him. You've not outworked the person next to you. You've not out-hustled them. You've not out-grind them. You've not outdone them. You're not locked in. Bring all your passion. Bring heart. Every single game, every single play. Put forth 120% or don't ask nobody to do nothing to it. The W, the O, the R, the K. The W, the O.
Screen. What's going on, everybody? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope everybody's doing fine. I hope everybody's doing good. Hey, what a hell of a weekend, man. Woo, baby. Was it a weekend? Was it ever a damn weekend, man? And yo, I don't know. This weekend was kind of nuts, kind of crazy. You know, as people start to roll in, we'll get into it. We'll look at exactly what happened, why it happened, and where we are now. A lot of people were calling the end to the bull run. You know, it was definitely a liquidity sweep. It was definitely a liquidity sweep this weekend. It was a hell of a weekend, man. And man, I mean, emotions were up, emotions were down, emotions were all over the place. So yeah, definitely was a weekend that everybody's got to learn from, I guess, right? We're all going to learn from this weekend and you know, figure out what happened and where we are now and where we're headed in this market. But you know, it's definitely one of them weekends that you live through history, right? It was the biggest liquidity sweep in cryptocurrency history, and we'll get into a little bit of it. And yo, it's okay. But hey, I tell you guys, you know, go ahead and like the stream, share the stream out to everybody. Go ahead and like the stream, share the stream out to everybody, and then go ahead and if you're on TikTok, go ahead and keep smashing that screen, keep smashing them like buttons. TikTok likes to see that. So I'm going in and out. Hopefully it gets better. So it sounds like I'm going in and out over on YouTube. Man, hopefully it gets better. I can't restart the stream without redoing the whole thing. So hopefully it gets better because, you know, we got a stream today. So I'm hoping it kind of comes in. But keep tapping that like button over there on TikTok as well. I see a bunch of people are joining. Keep smashing that like button for me. And it looks like we might be having a little bit of some connection issues over on YouTube and X. So let me know if it gets better or not. But we're definitely going to get into it, guys. What happened this morning, what's going on. I mean, what happened this weekend and what's going on. I see a bunch of people joining on TikTok. Man, I love you guys over there. But share this thing out. So we're going to see what's going to happen over there. So let's go ahead. Let's get into the chat. Scottish, good morning. Good morning, my brother. Good morning, Elmo. How are you? Good morning, Scottish. Good morning, Glenn. Yeah, let's go. Good morning. Good morning to my man, Glenn. I see you over there. See you, Elmo. Hopefully the stream gets better. Hopefully it comes in. StreamYard acts funny sometimes. What's going on, Elmo? You know, so Glenn says. So, you know, we are here. We'll fight through the connection issues and what's going on to everybody over there on TikTok as well. Let's get into what we got. So the markets are open today. But I expect a slow market today when it comes to stocks, just because the banks and everything else is closed. So I expect the market to not have a lot of volume, not have a lot of volatility. So we'll see where that heads, right? Today, and we'll get into it a little bit. Surviving, DG. Yeah, we're all surviving, man. We're all surviving, man. Stream. Yeah, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going on YouTube and X, even though the connection's probably not the best, but we're gonna keep it moving. So we have the Asian markets woke up yesterday, and they didn't trade well. They didn't trade well at all. So they ended completely in the red. They have the European markets waking up this morning and starting to trade already. They're trading all green. Looks really solid over there in the European markets. So definitely like to see that. The United States pre-markets are all in green as well. Looks really good. Looks really solid for our pre-markets. They had a downturn on Friday. They had the same, I don't want to say the same liquidity event as I don't want to say the same liquidity event as the United States, but they definitely had an event where they lost some steam over there in the United States markets. We have looks like a end to the war, and with Israel over there in Gaza as well. So that's some positive news for the markets today. It looks like some hostages were released. Looks like the president is over there right now, getting ready to make a speech to the Israel prime minister, with the prime ministers and all that stuff, all the Israel parliament, whatever they call them over there. So it looks like that's going to come to an end. Hostages have been released, so that's some great news, and it's going to be good for the markets as well. So the positive news on this Monday, European markets. European markets may do better. Yeah, I agree with you, Scottish. European markets may do a little bit better than the United States markets today. Just you guys, the banks and a lot of places are closed today here in the United States, so I wouldn't be expecting a huge amount of volume. But to all my Canadian friends out there on the stream as well, happy. I think it's Thanksgiving over there in Canada. It's a holiday over there in Canada today. So whatever holiday it is, I think it's Thanksgiving. Happy holidays to you guys, man. I hope you guys go and enjoy your families today and you're working. XRP, the one. Good morning. How are you, my brother? How are you? I hope you're doing well. We're gonna move on, right? We're gonna move on. We're gonna get things moving, and see if we can't turn this around. But let's go ahead and take a look at where the cryptocurrency market is right now, right? Since we went through a little bit of that macro with the war ending over there in Israel, over there with Israel and Gaza, and then you have the markets that look like they're going to open up in the European markets, and the United States markets look like they're going to open up in green today, which is good. Let's take a look at where the cryptocurrency market stands right now. The Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index is sitting at 40, which is up from where we were streaming. Where we were at just on Saturday when I did an impromptu stream. We were sitting in like right around 35, I believe, something like that. You're very well, XRP. All right, nice. You may have noticed we had a slight bump. We had a slight bump in the road. Yeah, we had a slight bump in the road. It wasn't a slight bump. It was literally the biggest liquidation event in cryptocurrency history. But we're going to get into what happened, and you're going to understand kind of why we're back up today, from my perspective, why we're back up today, and some things to watch out for, right? So, because we have to learn. Yeah, we got to learn from these events, because the market's changing around us, right? The markets are changing. Hey, thanks for the Thanks for the love. Thanks for the love. But because the markets are changing around us, and we have to learn as traders where these markets are going. TikTok gave me the love. They gave me the heart hat. Love it, love it, love it. So, we got to learn where these markets are going and how to trade them over there, right? So we got, like I said, the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index sitting at 40. We got altcoin season at 43 out of 100. On Saturday, this thing was down to 30 something. So we're definitely moving back to the upside when it comes to altcoin season, but definitely far away from altcoin season. We're not even close. Like we don't even have our toe in the water anymore when it comes to altcoin season. The market cap sitting at $3.91 trillion right now for cryptocurrency. Down, we got to get back up to that $4 trillion mark and kind of start to build some support at 4 trillion. Because we're still in Bitcoin season, right? We're still in Bitcoin season. Thanks for the gift, Jess. Thanks for the gift, just so appreciate you. So we definitely have to get back up to that $4 trillion, and we're working our way back up. You never go up as fast as you come down. Don't leverage. Don't leverage. Yeah, we're going to get into some of that. I want to talk a lot about that and kind of where we got to. The ETF inflow volume, we're not going to get this until the markets open at 9:30. But on Friday, it absolutely got smashed. Negative $179 million, right? So definitely got smashed with the ETF volume over there. You got Bitcoin dominant sitting at 58.6%, way too high for altcoin season. Bitcoin dominance way too high right now for any type of altcoin season. And it's definitely not going to happen until that Bitcoin dominance comes down. Just got the number two. The number two. All right, I see you over there. Just got the number two. Let's go. The number two gifting spot. Yes, you did. But Ethereum dominance is sitting at 12.8% right now. So, we're going to see if we can work this Ethereum dominance up. But here's what we got to talk about. What happened on Friday? The cryptocurrency market was extremely over leveraged, right? This was a liquidity sweep. It was a leverage sweep. The market was had a ton of leverage in it, sitting down there, a bunch of longs, right? And people did some stupid things, right? They were putting 50x leverage, 100x leverage, some crazy amounts of leverage down where some of these prices where the market makers took the price. Bitcoin down right around 104, 104,000. And people were putting crazy amounts of leverage down there and just acting stupid, right? And I'll call it for what it is. They were acting stupid. And it's these market makers are designed, and your market makers are Binance and Coinbase, so these big exchanges where you're using your leverage, right? You're betting against the house when that happens. When you lose leverage, you're betting against the house. So the house came back and they collected their money, is what happened. They came down, they swept out all that leverage, and then allowed the market to happen. Allowed the market to run again a little bit, is what they're trying to do. But here's the problem with this, right? On Friday, when we were streaming in the morning, I said to you guys that $1 trillion mark is usually where you get to these leverage sweeps, right? Right around every time we get to about $1 trillion of leverage is usually when the market makers want to come in and sweep the market, right? And basically go collect their money. Well, a lot of the wallets that I spent some time this weekend kind of tracing back some wallets, right? And some of these wallets that got absolutely torched with extreme leverage are back in the market with extreme leverage. It's crazy to me what happened. And I'm a leverage trader. Like, I like to leverage trade, right? So yeah, hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button, hit that share button. Thanks, XRP for life. But I'm not against leverage at all. But what I am against is stupidity, right? And what we have right now is we have a bunch of people that are going back into the market and playing the same game that they were playing before Friday sweep, which means they didn't learn a thing. They didn't learn anything. So, you know, we will have another leverage. We will have another liquidity sweep again. Because if you look at it, we're sitting at $1.07 trillion in longs and shorts sitting out here in the market right now. And here we go, right? We'll flip this screen and we'll look at this, right? So you got 1.04 trillion sitting in longs and shorts right now. Right now. Just look at this on the daily chart about how much leverage came right back into the market after that liquidity sweep. You know, and some of these are huge leverage plays. Like I don't think anybody should be playing with leverage for anything over a 10x, right? Right now. It just isn't a smart move. And these guys are out here doing it again. So you're gonna have another leverage sweep here. And you look at it, and here it is. Like all the numbers are ticking extremely to the upside when it comes to all of this leverage back in the market. So the market makers will come back down and sweep some of this leverage. Will it be as violent as Friday? Probably not, right? Probably not. But it will get swept again. So will it get swept? I mean, Friday was violent, and we'll get into some of that price action. I mean, that was an absolute violent hit, right? And unlike we've ever seen before. So will that happen? Will it be that violent again? Probably not. But it's scary that these guys are back over here playing with this. They didn't learn anything. So on these channels, we learn, right? So what we learned is that you have to pay attention. You have to pay attention to where these liquidation levels are, right? And you have to look at these liquidation levels and say to yourself, okay, at some point the price is going to come back down here, right? At some point the price is going to come back down here so that they can sweep these traders out of here, right? So here's the point to this. If you're in leverage and you're up, take your profits. And don't be playing with high leverage where you're going to lose everything, right? Because there was some people out here that were playing with leverage, that were playing with cross leverage. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, it's probably a good thing, because that means you weren't playing in that game. There was some people out here playing with cross leverage, which means if you were trading on Binance and you had a leverage trade out on Bitcoin, but you had it crossed, it would liquidate all your spot. It would literally liquidate all your spot assets or what assets as well. So these people completely got wiped out of not only their leverage trades, but their spot trades as well. So they basically lost all their crypto, all their money. And people were de-lifing themselves over this event. They found one person in a Lambo. You know what I mean? So it wasn't a good event, and but we're on our way back up. But we got to learn from this, right? Got to learn. Pay attention to them liquidity levels. Don't be out here playing with all kinds of leverage that you can't. And don't cross your leverage. Don't cross leverage. Isolate your leverage. And like I said, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's good, because that means that you didn't do anything stupid, right? But isolate your leverage, right? So that you don't lose everything. That's so sad. Yeah, it is sad, man. There was people, I mean, you look at reports and there was people that were just taking their lives over this situation because they lost everything. So it's unfortunate, but it happened, and got to deal with the reality of what happened, right? Elmo wants to know where Hyperswap is. Let's see where Hyperswap is today. He's taking me all off of my routine here. 868,000. 868,000. So, but the crypto bubbles look good on the crypto bubbles look good on the day. They're all green, solid green, but I caution you guys, green is kind of relative at this point, right? And we'll get into that in a minute about why green is relative. The hour is filling in a little bit red. The hour is filling in a little bit red. So it is, you know, we'll see where the day goes. What did you say, Ty? You had some. I hope you did okay, Ty. Like I hope you did okay and you recouped everything. So, but yeah, it's turning out a little bit like a mixed bag of tricks right now, right? Like little red, little green going on. But let's look at why this was the biggest liquidity sweep ever, right? So let's start up here with SUI, right? Look, this was the candle that wrecked the market right here, right? So SUI got down to, yeah, we're on SUI. If you go down to the bottom of this wick right here, where this thing wicked down, SUI got down to 50 cents. I want you to pay attention to this, right? Because this is exactly what happened. So the market makers dropped SUI down to 50 cents, right? And then the exchanges cut off trading, right? They literally cut off trading. You couldn't buy, you couldn't sell. So they were buying at 50 cents. They were buying SUI at 50 cents. The chart is right here. I wish my people on TikTok, I wish I could turn this around so you could see it. But literally, they were buying right here at the bottom of that wick at 50 cents. Then they opened up the exchanges right up in here, right around $2 for SUI, right? So now you could come in and buy it $2. But they were loading their bags up at 50 cents. You get to XRP. XRP at the bottom of this wick right here was $1.25, right? So pay attention to what happened. You know, they swept this all the way down to $1.25. They came in and bought, and then let us poor bastards come in and buy it like $1.80, right? Chainlink. We're gonna go right down the list here the best we can. Got down to on this chart $14.90, right? Depending on what exchange you were on, it was lower. I've seen some exchanges for Chainlink as low as $9. So this thing on this particular exchange got down to $14, right? At the bottom of that wick. SPX 6900. We love SPX 6900 here. I do. But at the bottom of this wick right here, you were looking at an SPX 6900 sitting at 82 cents. Huge pullback. Solana got absolutely smashed. The bottom of that wick right there was $142. So big money was buying this Solana at $142 on Friday when they crashed the market. It gets better. Ethereum, they crashed Ethereum down to $3,200. So that's where they were buying it at the bottom of that wick. AVAX was interesting because they crashed AVAX down to $8.72. Pay attention to what happened here. AVAX is Cosmos went to zero. I want you guys to understand this. Cosmos almost went to zero, and they came in and bought it back up. So pay attention to this sweep. The market makers swept AVAX down to $8, opened up trading right around $18, which is a $10 gain for them per token. Now it's sitting back up at 22.18, right? So let's know what happened here, right? So what do you say? Shorts. Yeah. I mean, they got wrecked. So when you look at I mean, look at AVAX all the way down to $8. The other interesting one was Ondo, right? You look at Ondo. Where did they take Ondo at? And I love Ondo. I own Ondo. I love Ondo. They took Ondo down to 24 cents. Pay attention. 24 cents. They had Ondo sitting at for a quick second. It's back up to 80 cents now, which is still a huge bargain, right? Like it's up to 80 cents, but they took it down to 24 cents and they started buying at 24 cents. Scottish, I mean, Binance was a huge player to this, right? Like, obviously, because they're the biggest exchange in the business, but this was coordinated through all the exchanges. This was coordinated. One person couldn't do this. This had to be a coordinated event to sweep this much liquidity. And I only say this because people look at Bitcoin and are like, oh man, everybody's leverage trading in Bitcoin, so everybody in Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana got wrecked. No, when you get down here to these altcoins, they literally suck the liquidity out of these altcoins, right? So this is why I'm saying this had to be coordinated, because men lie, women lie, numbers don't. And when you look at the coordination of what happened, this is why this is one of the biggest liquidity events in history, is because they suck the liquidity out of all of your altcoins. I'm telling you, if you go back and you look at the Cosmos chart, that thing was almost at nothing. It literally was almost at zero. So think about it for a minute. It was almost at zero. And then they came in and bought it back up. I mean, you look Ondo, they dropped it to 25 cents and then shut the exchange. All the exchanges didn't crash at once. Like, let's not be naive to what happened. They shut that down. They shut trading down. And then they opened it back up when they were done buying. So Ondo got down to 24 cents. Bitcoin at the bottom of this wick. Where are we at here? I'm going to pull this all the way up here. 104 on Bitcoin. They dropped it to. Where did Pepe drop to? You look at where Pepe dropped to. Pepe dropped to 5027. 5027, right? Sitting at 507 right now. So these institutions were buying this stuff up on you guys right here. XLM was another interesting one. They sucked the liquidity out of XLM all the way down to 16 cents. 16 cents. They had XLM sitting at 16 cents. Think about that for a minute. So these big liquidity sweeps happen. And so what do I learn from this? I say, okay, so if they dropped XLM down to 16 cents and then they pumped it back up to 34 cents, that must be a project that all these big institutions want, because they sucked that much liquidity out of it and then bought it back up. Yeah, it looks like a coordinated event. Yeah, it does look like a coordinated event, guys. Corrupto looks like a coordinated event. Definitely was coordinated. There's no doubt about it. So, but so I look at the projects, even like Ondo, they dropped it to 25 cents and then bought it back up. They must want to own a larger portion of that. So, you know, men lie, women lie. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Men lie, women lie. Numbers don't, man. You can sit here and talk about whatever you want all day long, but if the numbers don't say that, if the numbers don't show that that's what's going on, guess what? That's not what's going on. If you had limit orders in, yeah, they would have got filled, right? They would have got filled. But the order books weren't even filling orders. Like you couldn't, like I was able to catch the airdrome dip at 45 cents on Coinbase, but they dropped airdrome down to like 30 cents. And I was able to catch, we're live on Wadi Stream. I was able to catch H-bar at 10 cents, but it went down to 7 cents. Kronos went down to 7 cents as well. So that's what happened, right? And we're seeing from the charts that that's exactly what happened. Is they like literally sucked all the liquidity out of all of these altcoins and then came back in and rebought them and then opened up the exchanges for us to buy. So that's what happened. So what did we learn? You know what I'm saying? So markets are looking good today. They're starting to turn around. So let's take our lessons and apply them to what's going on in today's world, right? The lessons here is quit fucking hodling. Junior, what's going on? Good morning. Quit hodling, right? Get into these tokens, get into these altcoins, make your money and get out. Because this can literally happen to you at any time, especially with the amount of leverage that's coming back into the market. I'm not happy about it. I wish that the cryptocurrency traders were a little bit smarter than what they are. But every time I think that we've learned a lesson when it comes to playing around in this market, I always get disappointed because I realize that some of these traders over here are about as dumb as a bowl of rocks, but you know, you can't fix stupid. So you have to trade with stupid. So sometimes you have to act stupid to trade with stupid. What you've learned here is that you have to take your profits earlier, or at least nibble away at them, right? And if you're leverage trading, you get in, you make your money, you get the hell out. A lot of people are sitting on 2x leverage right now, and they're saying, well, that's my long-term bag. That was my long-term bag. It's a 2x. I can never get liquidated. My liquidation price is so low that I'm just going to ride that liquidation price. Well, guess what? You just got fucking liquidated. So it can happen. And I'm not going to say it's not going to happen again. Thanks, Junior. But you have to trade stupid with stupid, right? So you take your profits earlier. This is not a hodler's game, right? Anymore. You know, people will get on here and they will scream to you, hodl, hodl, hodl until Valhalla. This is not a hodler's game anymore. I'm telling you guys right now, my profit taking strategy is 3x, 7x, 10x. 3x, my initials coming out plus some profit. 7x, I'm chipping away a little bit more at it. If I get to a 10x, listen, I'm dumping 50 to 75% of that bag. It's that simple. And when I leverage trade, I have a price target. And when I hit that price target, I'm out. Learn your lesson. Learn your lesson. Quit hodling. Because I can tell you what, none of these projects are taking you to Valhalla. Bitcoin's not taking you to Valhalla right now. BNB's not taking you to Valhalla right now. XRP's not taking you to Valhalla right now. XLM's not taking you to Valhalla. Ondo's not taking you to Valhalla. No, none of these projects are taking you to the moon. So you better use them for what they are. Use these projects for exactly what they are. They're here for a short time. They're here for a good time, but not a long time. And you need to start treating them like that. And this is a trader's market. I'm telling you guys right now, the amount of leverage that's in this market, this is a trader's market. This is not a This is not a holder's market. So stop holding. Stop hodling. Stop it. Take your profits. He says, damn. Yeah, set your set your limit orders. Set your limit orders. They're saying it over there on TikTok. Set your limit orders. Set your limit orders, right? And I'm telling you, set your limit orders. This is a trader's market. I'm telling you. People want to blame this on Trump, right? And we went over this on Saturday on my live. Trump started the catalyst. Trump started the downfall, right? But he didn't end it. He didn't. It's not the reason crypto had this big of a liquidation. Yes, the tariff started it. Yes, the tariff started the dump. The tariff started the dump at 8 a.m. That was priced into the market at 8 a.m. There was no reason for a 4 p.m. liquidity dump that just happened except for greed. So if you're playing against greed, you better be fucking greedy. Be greedy. So quit hodling. I'm telling you guys right now. Thank you, brother. Saying you love the creators. Yeah. Thank you, brother. But yeah, quit hodling. I mean, look at the market right now. You look at it on an hourly, it's completely in red, right? So we don't know what's going to happen with the ETFs, and we don't know what's going to happen with the markets until the markets actually open at 9:30 here in the United States, right? You don't know what's going to happen, right? So this is why I say to you guys, proceed with caution, right? And one of the reasons I say proceed with caution is because now coming back over here, looking at this liquidity and looking at this liquidity sweep sitting here at $1.4 trillion, another $2 billion just came into the market since we were streaming, right? 1.4 trillion. There's a crap ton of liquidity sitting down there at around 104, between 104 and 106,000 on Bitcoin, right? Don't be surprised if the market makers come and sweep that liquidity before they let you go up. I'm just saying. Yeah, don't gotta pay attention. You don't gotta listen if you don't want to. But I'm just telling you that there's a crap ton of liquidity sit between 104 and 106. Call it 104 and 110. I even give you guys room. Call it 104 and 110. Don't be surprised if they come down there and they sweep that liquidity, and then they let the people that are putting in shorts get real comfortable. They allow the market to run up to wreck them shorts and put this shit on rinse and repeat. So just pay attention to what's going on. Barron's going to be sitting on a board of TikTok. Yeah, I mean, they got the White House got exactly what they wanted for TikTok, and they got a piece of it. So they got exactly what they wanted. And on Hydro Liquid, there was millions and millions of dollars made off of this crash. There was people that were putting in $1 million short trades before this thing crashed. So I don't know. They knew something. They knew something, dog. They knew something. So do not hodl this market. I'm telling you guys right now, don't hodl this market. Like, if you hodl right now and you say, I'm going to hold this project for 100x, you're going to get wrecked. You're literally going to get wrecked. Daniel's giving the best advice. Thanks, Ken. But you're going to get wrecked. I'm telling you right now, you'll get wrecked. So XRP is a prime example. It's sitting at $2.56. Let's talk about it. If you were to buy it right now, if you were to buy XRP right now at $2.50, you better be getting rid of all your initial investment at $5. You better dump all of your initial investment at $5. Not that I think it's going to go much past $5 this run, but if it got to $5, you better be dumping all of your initial if you were to buy right now. And if you're already in it and you did go in and buy during the downturn, whatever you bought during the downturn, you better sell it at a 2 to 3x. Sell it. Get your money back. Solana, $191 right now. 192 just flipped. If you buy it now at $400, easy math, let's call it 200. At 400, you better be swiping right. You better be swiping right. The market's changed, and anybody who tells you that this market hasn't changed is crazy. Yes, the bull market's going to get here. Yes, there's going to be a parabolic run. Yes, I agree with all that, right? I agree with it. I definitely agree with it. But this bull market's going to be different. This bull market's going to be different. This bull market is going to be a institutional run. And let's just be honest about why it's an institutional run. Today, we're just going to, fuck it, it's Monday. We're going to be honest today, right? We're going to put it all on the line. We're going to be honest. Because a lot of you guys have hopium. And hopium is what is going to kill you. Let's be honest about why this is going to be an institutional run. It's going to be an institutional run because retail's broke. Retail don't have any money. I hope that's not groundbreaking news to anybody, but retail doesn't have any money. You go out here, go to the store and say to somebody in the store, hey, you got an extra $100? They're going to tell you no. They're going to tell you no. Because they don't. Credit card debt's at its all-time high. Car repossessions are at their all-time high. Personal debt's at its all-time high. And it won't be long before housing starts to fall. Because if you can't pay for your car payment, you can't pay for your housing payment. It's at an all-time high. Inflation is absolutely ravaging not only the United States, but other places like the EU and anywhere you go. It's just crazy high. In retail, people are losing their jobs, right? People are losing their jobs all over the place. Let's look at the ADP numbers. The jobs are gone, right? They're just leaving at a crazy rate, right? Interest rates too high, inflations are too high. Can't buy a car, can't buy a house with the interest rates that are out there right now. Can't save money because you're spending it all on the store. You're spending it all in the store. You're spending it all just to live day by day. So this is going to be an institutional driven run. So what's the smart thing to do in an institutional driven run? Follow the damn money. Quit hopium and follow the money. We just seen it. The charts just showed you what it is. I'm looking dead ass at the XLM chart. It dropped to 16 cents. They bought it all the way back up to 34 cents. That is not retail money buying that chart back up to 34 cents. Yes, you might have thrown a couple $100 at it. Your couple $100 didn't do anything to that chart. They dropped Bitcoin down to 104. It's back up to, where is it at? Well, last time I looked, it was 115. 114.1. It's dropping today. Believe you me, retail money did not put that it dropped to 104. They did not put that much money back into Bitcoin to pump it that high. XRP dropped down to 140, maybe even lower, depending on what chart you look at, depending on what exchange you were on. Dropped down to, 125. Market cap size of $154 billion. Retail money didn't move that chart. I don't care what you think or thought. Retail money didn't move that chart. BNB just set a new all-time high today as well. It's dropping now, but it set a new all-time high today. Just as an FYI. And yes, CZ does own 75% of BNB, which is why it set an all-time high. Which is why it didn't suffer. It didn't suffer like the rest of the tokens. Because you couldn't do a liquidity sweep on BNB because CZ owns about 75% of it. Retail's getting crushed, XLM. For like, let's just be honest. Retail's getting crushed. They got crushed on Friday. I shouldn't say that. If you're holding, you're still good. If you're holding, you're good. You're on the rebound, right? So you're good. And a lot of the money's coming back into the market. I don't want to be doom and gloom today, but listen, I'm telling you the truth, man. A lot of people will sit up here and give you a shit ton of hopium, right? And say, oh, yeah, man, we're going to Valhalla. You're going as far as institutional money takes you. That's how far you're going to. That's how far you're going in this bull market. As far as institutional money takes you. So yes, Elmo, HyperSwap's doing well. 868K right now. Let's look at this X seller that some of you guys got in. Let's see if you're recouping some of your money over here. 15.2 million. No, you're not. Should have listened. Told you guys to leave that project alone. Should have listened. Shield. Where is Shield at? I like Shield. Getting absolutely torched right now. 1.7 million. Getting absolutely torched. Absolutely torched. Yo, DG, good morning. Good morning, Selmo. Good morning, my brother. Good morning, man. Now you're in the building. Now we can get happy, man. XRP approaches for EU. XRP approaches for EU currency. Listen, XRP for life. XRP is going to do, I'm going to be honest with you. XRP is going to do at best $8 this bull run. At best. At best. I was going to give him a $10 mark this bull cycle. But Swift, when they decided to come out with their blockchain, absolutely smashed a lot of their hopes. I'm telling you, I'll be honest with you. Today's Honest Monday. Right? Let's just be 100, right? Let's just keep it 100, right? Swift took a lot of, is going to take a lot of their volume. It's just it's the volume that they thought that they were going to be able to accumulate from Swift. They're not. They're not going to get that volume. And Swift isn't going to have a token. So you're not going to be able to get rich off of Swift. So, you know, how is XRP going to make up the volume that it lost when Swift lost its blockchain? Yes, Swift will probably use the XRPL. Yes, Swift will probably use Ethereum. Yes, Swift will probably use Solana. Yes, Swift will probably use a lot of different blockchains that are out there, right? But they're going to do it all through interoperability. They're going to do it all through interoperability. People were saying Swift's a messaging system. It's not a payment settling system. Well, guess what? Swift just became a payment settling system. It is what it is. It is what it is. They can tell you whatever they want, but how do you run from that? Will XLM hit a dollar? What would you say, a dollar over there on TikTok? I think XLM is going to hit a dollar. I think XLM will hit a dollar. I think there's enough partnerships where XLM will hit a dollar. What's Jerome Powell speaking about tomorrow? He's just giving a state of, he's at a conference and going to give a state of the economy. Ripple has 12 years. That's the key right there. XRP for life. You said it best. And you just said it best. And let me break this down. And listen, it's been a hard weekend. So I'm happy that my money's coming back, but I'm also gonna be completely honest with you. Let's break this down. You said it right. Ripple has 12 years of experience in this field. A lot of the stuff that Ripple has bought in over the years with the XRP escrow fund, right, does not benefit XRP. RLUSD, why do you think they cross-chained it to Ethereum using Chainlink and all the rest of these other chains? Why do you think that they cross-chain that? Because if you look at all of the big players right now that are building out RWAs, and you look at JP Morgan's blockchain, and you look at Swift's blockchain that they're going to build on top of Libra or whatever they're building on top of, they're all Ethereum based. They had no choice. RLUSD, if it would have just sat on a ledger, would have been a dead stablecoin. They had no choice. They had to cross-chain it. Nobody is building on the XRPL, which the XRPL is an open source blockchain of which Ripple doesn't even really control. They control the validators, which gives them a crap ton of control over there on the chain. But in reality, it's open source. But literally everything in every company that Ripple has acquired does not benefit the XRP holders. Ripple Net does not benefit the XRP holder. I'm telling you. I'm just being 100% honest with you. When they bought the centralized exchange, what is it, Hidden Road or whatever it was, there is zero benefit to the XRP holder for that acquisition. But they use the XRP escrow to buy it. I'm just keeping it 100 with you, man. Look at the volume over there on the XRPL. Look at the volume. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm really not. But we've got to if this weekend taught us anything, right? we should be more honest with each other. We should be more honest. You know, it's just what it is, you know. So I'm telling you, if you're buying XRP now, if you're buying XRP right now at $2.50, you better be looking to take your initial investment out at $5. Quit with the hopium. Stop. Doesn't exist. All right. It just doesn't exist. XRP is going to do $5 to $7 this bull run. When this bull run's over, we'll have this conversation again. It'll do $5 to $7. Man, one man knows what he's talking about. I'm trying, man. I'm trying to help, man. I really am. Like, we gotta stop, man. We gotta stop with these projects. We got to do better with educating people and talking about what's really going on, right? And DeFi Llama's not working right for me this morning. I wanted to bring up the volume for XRP, the XRPL. It's not working right for me this morning. But it's all good. Let's just say, just know just know that the volume on the XRP ledger is like down in the 20s for all blockchains. It's down in the 20s. It's nobody's building over there. You have all these partnerships and all these institutions and everybody else, but nobody's building over there, right? So I appreciate the 100 and something people right now who are watching. Appreciate you. And over there on TikTok, make sure you guys are smashing that like screen over there, you know, and continue to hit the screen, get the likes up, and we'll be on here probably for about another couple minutes, and then we're out of here because I have to go get some payroll done. But so I'm gonna wrap this up, and I'm gonna leave you guys with this. I'm gonna leave you with this, and I want you to really think about this as today opens up and the crypto market opens up and the stock markets open up and everything opens up. Think about this. We got wrecked because stupid people did stupid things with leverage and they got stupid prizes for the whole cryptocurrency market, right? That's what happened. Stupid people played stupid games and they ended up allowing the market makers to wreck the cryptocurrency market on Friday. And as we open up Monday, you have stupid people playing stupid games and winning stupid prizes because you're sitting on $104 trillion in leverage that came back into this market. Some of it at 50x, some of it at 100x, and some of it at 150x, and I even seen one at 500x. So, what did these guys learn? Absolutely nothing. And that's disappointing. But what did we learn? We learned that because of stupid people playing stupid games and winning stupid prizes, that we have to change our trading strategy. That's what we learned. You learned that you can't hodl everything. You have to be willing to sell. You know, you have to be willing to sell. You do a lot of payroll. Yeah, Junior, I do a lot of payroll, man. Every Monday, every Friday. It's a lot. You have to be willing to sell, and you have to be willing to take your profits. And if you're playing with leverage, you have to play. I wouldn't be playing with anything bigger than a 10x leverage right now in this market. And you have to understand that you're in an institutional driven market now, and crypto has changed. You are in an institutional driven market. Let me say that to you again. Institutional driven market. These spot ETFs will be out pretty soon when the government opens. They're going to be out. They're going to happen. You're going to get an HBAR. You're going to get an XRPs. You're going to get XRP ETFs. You're going to get HBAR ETFs. You're going to get a Chainlink ETF. You're going to get a ton of ETFs. There will be a lot of liquidity that comes into this market. But the liquidity is going to come through the ETFs. Right? Because they're the people who have money. They're the people who have money, right? On the stock market, right? Retail investment doesn't have a crap ton of money. They have the money on the stock market. So the money will come through the ETFs. So you hold the token. It's going to go up. Price go up. More volume comes in, more price go up. The Ethereum staking ETFs go live in October. That's a huge deal for Ethereum, right? Massive deal for Ethereum. It should boost Ethereum's price and make Ethereum price go up. It should. So the money's going to flow in through these ETFs. And that's where the money's coming from. And you've seen it with Bitcoin. You've seen it with Ethereum. BNB is a outside example of how you hit ATHs without a ETF, right? And that's only because CZ owns 75% of the supply, which is why you didn't see the big price drop in BNB, right? So there you go. That's what I'm gonna leave you guys with today. Pay attention. Know where the liquidity levels are, guys. Know where these liquidation levels are, because that's probably where we're headed. We're probably headed down, sweep through liquidity, head up, wreck the shorts, and come back down and wreck some more longs. And because people are over leveraged in this market, we will probably play this game for a little while until people realize that what they're doing is stupid, or they run out of money, one or the other. So it is what it is. We are where we are. We'll do what we do. And with that, guys, we're out of here. I'm telling you guys, pay attention today. Keep 10 toes on the ground. Pay attention to your bags. If you're DCAing, there's going to be opportunities out here today. The market's all in red right now on the hour. You got Bitcoin sitting at 114,000 right now. It looks like it's going to drop to 113. You got Ethereum sitting at $4,064 right now. It looks like if it doesn't start to turn around, it looks like Ethereum's going to come under 4,000 again today. You have BNB set a new all-time high this morning, starting to come down at 1,287. You have XRP sitting at $2.56, coming down a little bit on the hour, minus 1.2%. If XRP can't hang on to the $2.50 range, you're looking at 230 probably. You have Solana sitting here at 191.80, down 1.6% as well on the hour. So it looks like it's starting to come down. The whole market looks like it's starting to come down a little bit. You got Chainlink sitting here at $19.16, down 2.6% on the hour. So pay attention. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Do not get caught up in this wash. I mean, if you're DCAing, just DCA in. little bit at a time. Do not be in this market 100%. Don't put all your capital in this market right now. Wait for this thing to stabilize. DCA a little bit here, a little bit there. If you're leverage trading, go low leverage, and just protect yourself and protect your money, and protect your investments the best you can right now, because right now it's a volatile market. 19 XRP ETFs coming. Yeah, 19. There's going to be, that's why I said there's going to be a lot of liquidity. Thanks, DG. No problem, Ken. Always appreciate you. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of liquidity that comes in the markets, but it's going to be coming in from the institutions. It's not going to be coming in from retail. Retail's broke, guys. Let's just be honest. Retail is broke, y'all. And I don't know why people don't want to acknowledge that on these live streams, or why these content creators, or whatever we call ourselves now, don't want to acknowledge that. Retail's broke. Retail had a massive part of the bull run during COVID because they had all free money. Money was just being handed to them everywhere, and they pumped it into the market. Will we get a stimulus out of some of this? Maybe the tariffs. You're not going to know until after November 15th, until after the Supreme Court votes on whether or not the tariffs are even legal. And that's the other event that you better watch. Because if the Supreme Court comes out and says that the tariffs are illegal, you're going to see a market crash unlike you've ever seen before. I'm going to tell you that right now. So we may see one if they deem that as legal. But don't bank your bet on everything that you think is going to happen. Always be prepared for the worst. And, but retail doesn't have any money. It's that simple. It is literally that simple. I love the fact we don't always agree. Oh, I love it too. I love it, XRP, because then we can come back and revisit it, right? And I'll tell you what, I'm the type of person that if I'm wrong, I will be the first person to sit in front of this camera and tell you guys, I completely got that wrong. I completely got that wrong. I don't run from it. I don't hide from it. And I don't delete videos. I leave all my receipts up there. All of them. So, I love it. I love the conversation. But with that, guys, we're up out of here. You guys have a great day. We'll do this thing again on Wednesday. We'll probably be a little bit more positive on Wednesday. But you know what? You got to have something to be positive about, right? And I'm telling you guys, right now, there's a bunch of idiots out here in the crypto space, and they tanked the market on Friday with their stupidity and their trade and the way that they trade. And it looks like they haven't learned a thing. So be careful. We're about. See you guys on Wednesday. Bye.